Yes, I know this review is kind of late, but you know what? Last Friday, we had two new movies that came out, which usually doesn't happen. And I didn't have time to go see both. I had only time to see one, and I had a bunch of stuff going on, bunch of things I needed to take care of. I've been, working on graduation, things like that. I mean, if you could see my previous video that I edited something, put it together, put it out here. Um, I've been working on a lot of stuff, and so yeah, I finally got out to see it. I wanted to actually go Monday and see it, because it was Memorial Day, but I didn't get to. But A Quiet Place 2 is what we're talking about today, and you know, you can check out my review of the first movie. Um, I'll just go over my brief thoughts of the first movie here. I'm not a big fan of A Quiet Place. I think it is a very overhyped movie. Like, a lot of people are like, it's so scary, it's so different, it's so unique. I don't think it's any of that. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just think it's okay. It's okay. Like, there's nothing terrible about the movie, and there's a few things that are pretty good about the movie, but for the most part, it's just okay. This movie, on the other hand, is also just okay, if not slightly better than the first. But I do think, um, I think why that is this is a perfect sequel to the first movie. I will say that this is as good as a sequel to the first movie as you can probably get, because essentially in the first movie you had this family, and they were trying to deal with this end of the world type crap with these monsters, and they can't make any noise, and it was just that family, and that was a good premise for a movie. It worked pretty good, not as good as I think it could have worked out, but I think it was a pretty good premise that made a pretty decent movie. And so this movie expands upon that, and it goes into before this event happened. And then it also goes into the rest of the world. Like, what's going on? Where's all the other people? Is there other people? What's going on with that? And that's a really great idea for this movie. And I think it did a lot to make a pretty decent movie. However, I have an issue with this movie, and my major issue with this movie is the ending. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it, but it ends way too abruptly. And I get it, they're setting this up for sequels. But it didn't feel like I watched a full narrative. This almost feels like both these Quiet Place movies feel like they were meant to be TV show episodes. That someone said, no, I'm going to make a movie out of it. This was a TV show, right? Because you could have made this part of the first season and had like flashbacks be part of like certain episodes and things like that. There's a way to do this. And but when you're making it a movie, it's like you gotta keep setting it up for sequels. So it just kind of ends, and I didn't really felt like I watched a full narrative and a full story. I didn't feel like I saw a story. I felt like I watched the first half of a season, but I'm not getting the next season for quite a while. And I think that hurt this movie, but I think most people will be okay with it, because I think most people assume, hey, we're getting another one, and they're okay with that. But I personally think that it's kind of sad that we have to keep setting every movie up for a sequel like this, instead of just giving us a complete story through a movie. But I think this movie, if you like the first movie, go see it. You're gonna love it. If you love the first movie, if you're okay about if you thought the first movie is just okay, like I did, you'll think the same. Like, whatever you thought about the first movie is basically how you're gonna feel about this movie, because everyone I've talked to, I'd ask them about it. I asked them, what'd you think? I said, do you think it's better or worse than the first movie? And they said they're about the same, or like they're like me, and they said like maybe just slightly better. But like that's that's kind of the general response of this movie. So I think if you want to see this movie, you should definitely do so, because this is just kind of one of those movies That's exactly what you kind of expect, which is maybe why I'm not like a big fan of it. The Quiet Place movies, because it's exactly what I expect, and I'm someone who likes to be surprised and see different and new things, and I'm not really seeing that here. So, but I enjoy. I can't say I didn't have fun. I didn't enjoy this movie, and I did. So, yeah, stay tuned. Of course, Friday I'm gonna cover The Conjuring. I'm also gonna cover the latest episode of Big Shot and The Bad Batch. Just stay tuned for all those reviews coming soon. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all that, and I'll see you guys next time.